This video was made in collaboration with the Attack on Titan Wiki. For more information, check out the link in the description. The life of Ymir Fritz, Attack on Titan. Ymir Fritz was the first person to obtain the power of the Titans. She was a slave of the Eldian king who abused her power to bring prosperity to Eldia while devastating Marley and the rest of the world. 13 years after awakening her power, she died protecting the king. Her corpse was then forcibly cannibalized by their daughters, Marley, Rose, and Sheena. Her powers then split into what eventually came to be known as the Nine Titans. Upon her death, Ymir was transported to the coordinate, where all paths intersect, where she molded Titans out of the sands and obeyed the royal family whenever they sought the founder's power. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Ymir Fritz. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background. Around 2,000 years ago, Ymir's village was attacked and enslaved by the Eldians, who also murdered her parents and cut out the tongues of the survivors. One night, Ymir opened the gate to a pen, allowing for some pigs to escape. Later, the tribe's ruler, Fritz, questioned the slaves on the culprit. The slaves pointed to Ymir, who was released only to be hunted down for sport. Wounded and desperate, Ymir found an unusually large tree with a chasm at its base. Seeking shelter, she stepped inside and, not knowing of the sinkhole beneath, fell down into a pool of liquid. There, a mysterious spine-like creature fused with her and turned her into the first Titan. With her newfound power, Ymir returned to serve Fritz and used her Titan to cultivate the land, build bridges, and amass wealth for the Eldians. Under his command, she also vanquished the armies of Eldia's rival, Marley. To, quote-unquote, reward Ymir for her service, Fritz took her as his concubine, and together they had 3 children, Marley, Rose, and Sheena. It was speculated that during this time, Ymir grew to genuinely love and care for Fritz, despite his behavior and attitude towards her. 13 years after acquiring the power of the Titans, Ymir died while thwarting an assassination attempt on Fritz, but then found herself in a mysterious barren land. King Fritz then forced his daughters to eat their mother's corpse in an attempt to preserve the power of the Titans. He commanded his daughters to continuously reproduce, to have their children eat their spines upon their deaths, and perpetuate this ritual from child to child so that Ymir's blood wouldn't die out and Eldia could rule forever with its Titans. Ymir's power was divided into 9 Titans, and she continued to serve her descendants, building them Titans whenever they invoked the power of the Titans. Mythology. By the Eldians, Ymir's existence is hailed as a god-given miracle. The restorationists claim that she and all subjects of Ymir are the chosen children of God, and that any atrocities Marley claims Eldia had committed could not have been possible because Ymir would not have allowed it. There was even an Eldian cult that worshipped Ymir as a goddess. On the other hand, the Marleyans believe she received her power from a deal with the devil of all earth, and used this to ostracize the Eldians. There are also those who believe that Ymir contacted the source of all living matter to gain her power. This theory is relatively unheard of, as Grisha Jaeger was unaware of it until Aaron Kruger told him. Many centuries later, Frida Rice would visit her half-sister Historia Rice on the farm where she was raised. During some of her visits, Frida told Historia the story of Ymir's deal with the devil. However, in the book she showed her, Ymir is named Krista. Frida advised Historia that she must be ladylike as Krista was. She spoke of Krista as being an altruistic girl and urged Historia to be loving and beloved like her when she's grown. However, Historia didn't remember these visits since Frida used the Founding Titan's power to erase her memories after every visit. Historia would only recall vague images of Krista in the years to come. Return to Shiganshina arc. Some years later, when the Survey Corps discovered Grisha Jaeger's basement, he recounts his childhood when he was told the story of Ymir and her people by his father. Grisha writes of joining the Eldian restorationists in the nation of Marley several years afterward, learning of the supposed great accomplishments achieved in Ymir's time. Together with the resistance, Grisha declares that they must venture to Paradis Island, where Ymir's descendants had fled 80 years ago, in order to retrieve the Founding Titan and bring back the nation of Eldia. War for Paradis arc. While on the verge of death from Levi's Thunder Spear, Zeke Jaeger would awaken in an unknown land to discover Ymir's resculpting his damaged body with earth. During the assault on Shiganshina, Zeke and his younger half-brother Aaron Jaeger are able to make contact with each other and activate the Founder before awakening in the paths. As Ymir approaches, Aaron notices her presence. Zeke explains that she's in fact the Founder herself. He then asks Aaron to go ahead with the euthanasia plan. Aaron refuses and demands that Ymir lend him her strength, but his pleas are ignored. Zeke subsequently reveals he has nullified the vow to renounce war through Ymir, who obeys only the royal family, her descendants. She promptly restrains Eren with her chains. After Zeke shows Eren the memories of their father Grisha, Zeke realizes that Eren was responsible for Grisha's actions against the Rice family and that his ultimate goal is inevitable. In a panic, Zeke orders Ymir to sterilize the subjects of Ymir, and Ymir approaches the coordinate of converging paths to fulfill Zeke's will. Eren manages to break free of his chains and reach Ymir before Zeke. True to the Attack Titan's yearning for freedom, he embraces her and begs that she give him her power so that he can end this world. He assures her that he's not going to force her hand, recognizing that she's neither a slave nor a god, but a human being with free will. Eren presents her with two options: to wander the paths forever or help him with his plans. As Zeke desperately tries to stop them, Eren asks Ymir if she was the one who called him to the coordinate, musing that she's been waiting 2,000 years for him to arrive. Ymir begins crying. Back in Shiganshina, Eren's head reconnects with his body. As everyone looks on in shock, the walls crumble, releasing a horde of colossal titans as Eren forms a new titan body. A while later, as Eren leads the Titans in the rumbling, an apparition of Ymir is seen by the boy in the moments he's crushed to death under the Titan's foot. As Eren converses with his friends in the paths, Ymir emerges next to Eren in the coordinate, symbolizing their cooperation. As the warrior unit, along with members of the Survey Corps, engage numerous Titans on top of the Founding Titan in an attempt to reach Eren at Fort Salta, Ymir appears and is briefly seen by Armin Arlert, who speculates she's the one summoning the previous incarnations of the 9 Titans. After Mikasa Ackerman swoops into the mouth of Eren's Titan, Ymir is shown to be standing in the mouth, smiling as she watches Mikasa kiss Eren farewell after killing him. Immediately afterwards, Ymir relinquishes the power of the Titans from the world. Watching Mikasa kill the one she loves was enough to release Ymir from the love she had for Fritz, who only wanted to exploit her power. Abilities. Ymir was the very first Titan and the only one to ever possess the complete power of the Titans. All who come after her merely possess fragments of her power. Her Titan body was immense, even by Titan standards, and easily towered above the tree line. Using her immense strength, she effortlessly wiped out Marley's forces. She was also very skilled at controlling her Titan, as she performed complex tasks such as building bridges across mountains and cultivating the fields. It's said that nobody can surpass Ymir, and that because Ymir died 13 years after awakening her powers, no one is allowed to live beyond that. This phenomenon is known as the Curse of Ymir. Her spirit lived on in a world where the coordinate resides. She's responsible for all Titan transformations throughout history. Whenever the power of the Titans is invoked, she builds the Titan bodies out of the otherworldly sand. She's also responsible for regeneration and resculpted Zeke's body after he was blown up. It reportedly takes Ymir a very long time to create these bodies. Zeke says it took her years to build him a single human body, but because the world in which she lives transcends time, the process was almost an instant in the physical world. According to Zeke, Ymir can create anything, even chains that represent the vow of renouncing war. Ymir is also the source of the Founding Titan's power. From controlling other Titans to creating the Wall Titans to altering bodies of the subjects of Ymir, all of the Founding Titan's feats are done by Ymir after she's given the order, either by a scream or in person through the world where Ymir resides. However, because Ymir was Fritz's slave, she only listens to the commands of the royal family. Thus, only the royal family can use the Founder's power. Eren Yeager became the exception to this as he invoked the Founder on 2 occasions. The first is when he punched Dinah Fritz's pure Titan and commanded Ymir to make the surrounding Titans attack Dinah, and after she was killed, he turned them against Reiner Braun. The second is when Eren convinced Ymir that she has a will of her own, freeing her from the royal family's control, and she lent her power to Eren instead of Zeke. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. I'm Adrian, thanks for watching, I'm out.